Because I've just written a book that's not even published yet. It won't be out until March. And it's called I Can See Clearly Now.
Clarity is Esther's new favorite word.
Yeah.
Because when you're on that high-flying disc, clarity feels better than anything. To be clear-minded, which means to be sure-footed and know what to do.
Yeah.
The book is I Can See Clearly Now.
I Can See Clearly Now. It's a song, but it's also But I can't
I'm
tell you
remembering
how many...
everything that I knew before I came forth into this physical body, and so much more that I picked up along my physical trail. All the contrast that I lived put things into my vortex that for a long time I didn't allow myself to see. But now, I'm a vibrational match to everything that I put there, and it's a beautiful world that I have created. I've put enough in my vortex to keep myself busy for 20 or 30 lifetimes. And I'm eager about all of that. I see where the world is going. I see that others have the capacity to do this too. That no one needs to hold themselves in discomfort and disconnection. That there's no reason for it. The source is right there for all of us, whispering to us, speaking clearly to us. All we have to do is just listen a little.
That's what I was going to ask you, because it's this book. What I've done is I've taken the 58. It just turns out there's 58 chapters, and each one of them is just a look at. I'm going along this way, and then suddenly I'm making a left turn or a right turn, or I'm doing a about face, and it's like, like the first 5 books that I wrote for the public. I never mentioned the word spirit, God, consciousness, higher awareness. Never was mentioned. I wrote books about psychology and all.
They weren't ready.
Yeah. And then I wrote a book, and I looked in the index because I was writing this book, looking back at it. And in the next book, it was it's called. You'll see it when you believe it. And it was there's like 39 references to that. And then the next book after that has it in the title. And then I'm giving lectures about it. And it's like, is there something? Is there some force in there? I mean, I made a dramatic shift one time on the Long Island Expressway. I was teaching at the university in 1976, shortly after the visit to my father's grave. And I was driving down the LIE, and which means lie, and I pulled off to the side. It was something overwhelming, and I was about to be granted tenure at this university. And now everybody was looking for tenure and wanted tenure. Tenure is like, you've got a job here for the rest of your life. You're guaranteed you're going to be staying right here in this office doing the same thing that you've been doing for the last 6 years. And it was like a frightening kind of feeling for me. And I had, how do you turn down tenure? I mean, it was hard to get, I was going to be a full professor. I was going to have a guaranteed job for, and all of this. And I pulled off, and something just was overwhelming. I mean, I actually got flushed, and I got back in the car. I didn't call my family. I drove right to the university, went into the dean's office. Her name was Sarah Fassenmeyer. I said, Dr. Fassenmeyer, I said, this is my last semester. I've written a book. It was called Your Erroneous Ounce. I just took it out. I said, I can't take this. And it was like, that was one of the chapters, and I can see clearly now that moment when I think, what was that? Was that source energy? Was that, what? I mean,
yes.
It's just, and from that moment on, I mean, I gave up all the benefits that you get from being employed with, somebody
You gave
else.
up bondage.
Yeah, I did. And in the first year that after I made that decision and allowed that to happen, I made more money in the first year than I had made the previous 36 years of my life.
That
was just one little aspect of it.
That's what we meant earlier when we said that everything that you desire is in your vibrational reality. And the source within you knows where it all is and the path of least resistance to lead you to it. And it's not getting to it that is the big deal. It's the path that is so fun along the way. So when you, really quick, so when you came into this physical body, there was that trajectory that we're talking about, that trajectory of well-being. So let's say it's a path of least resistance, but it's one of ease, it's one of fun, it's one of following your bliss, it's one of joy, and most of the world doesn't resonate very well with that because you just look lazy to them. So you take a little tributary where you choose some other things and you give it everything you've got. But the whole time you do it, you can feel that this natural path is calling you. And sometimes the stakes get pretty strong. In other words, you could really feel. But the ultimate trajectory of who you really are always wins, you see. We just don't know what it takes you all so long to relax and give in to your natural well-being, you see. And what we do know, it's that you're listening to the others who have all the lists of things that you need to do in order to please them, instead of listening to what the source within you knows.
You said something before when I said you hit a chord with me. It was like, when you read, I can see clearly now. It's not that you need to read. I know that you know everything. But I'm speaking to all the rest of you mortals out there. The affirmation or the words, I am a teacher, which you must have said to me 5 or 6 times before, is throughout this entire thing. I'm over and over saying these words, I am a teacher. I am not an employee. I am not somebody, I'm not to be told where to go or how I'm going to do it.
I am an extension of source energy who has practiced my vibrational frequency into such alignment with my true nature that anything less than that feels off to me. And because I care about the way I feel, I guide myself easily now toward the things that feel good. And therefore I am always on my path.
If the things
and this book will lead you to yours.
And the things that feel good, sometimes we confuse things like it's safer, it's easier.
Well, that's the thing.
But it doesn't feel so good inside.
Well, safer feels better than fear, than danger. And so it's a step in the right direction. But you don't want to hang around reaching for safety because you can get a vibration going and then everything that's about that just shows itself to you. In other words, this is a self-course that you're all on. And you have source energy guiding you every step of the way. And when you find something that feels good, go that way.